Hey guys, I'm Lee McCormack. I'm with Lee Likes Bikes, and this is my friend Dani. Hi, Dani.
Hello.
And we're here to help Dani ride better, which is our whole goal in life, right? So tell us what we can do for you today.
I guess my biggest problem, or I guess challenge I'm dealing with right now, it has to do with just general jumps, like clearing them efficiently.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why do you want to jump?
Because I want to get air.
Because you want to get air, because it's rad.
Yeah, true.
And it's fast?
Yes, it's
and
faster.
smooth?
Yes, and smoother.
Cool. And
yeah.
what sort of racing or riding do you do?
I've been trying to get into more downhill riding lately, and that's just been my biggest challenge in class.
That's fair. And what's your background?
Background is cyclocross and cross-country style racing.
Yeah, so an endurance athlete, right?
Yeah.
Kind of stepping into the more agro-gravity world. And as is very, very common, learning how to jump is new, right?
Totally, yeah.
Cool. So I teach people to jump most days of the year, right? Unless it's snowing. So I've got a little system. What we'll do is we'll start with pumping, because pumping is like the base skill, right? We worked together like 2 years ago. I saw it on an email thread. So we've done a little bit of that, but it's been 2 years. So we'll check on you, I'll explain some stuff, and then once you're moving well on the pump track, then we'll take it to like a good beginning jump. We're here at Valmont Bike Park in Boulder, Colorado, by the way. So we'll dig in, okay?
Okay,
All
sounds
right.
good. So I guess the biggest thing for me is, I've watched a lot of videos, read a lot of books, especially a lot of Lee's stuff, and I'm at that point where I don't really know what I'm doing incorrectly. So the direct feedback, I think, is going to be really beneficial for me right now.
Okay. So we're going to start with pumping, right? And here's kind of my whole grand unified theory of shredding, okay? In a nutshell, right? So when we ride, it's not the best wave, but it's not the worst wave. We're always looking for sine waves. So a pump track is a pretty literal sine wave, right? Like a flow trail or a BMX track is a pretty literal, easy to see sine wave. But I want people to understand that like this could be a pile of rocks or something like that, right? It's still a wave, right? This one could be a jump. And let's call it a tabletop jump. Your trajectory is still a wave, right? And by the way, this could be a pretty serious gap jump with a person down there for scale, right? But your trajectory is still a wave. Is that making sense? Okay.
Totally.
So then, okay, I made a little mess of my wave, so I'm gonna clean it up just a little bit. This is completely professional production here. All right, so we got our wave, okay? So the first thing we need to worry about, and this is different from the way most of you guys think about riding, so bear with me. On a wave, you have these inflection points, right here, here, okay? And that gives you crests, and it gives you troughs, okay? And so here's the deal. Number one thing is when we ride, can you see my hand? We balance on our feet in the middle of the bike, and the bike does this. The bike is changing attitude, right? And this is kind of cool. My finger that's poking through my old glove would be the handlebar. The handlebar follows an arc around your feet. Can you see that? So I used to think, oh, pull up things, push down things, but that's not how it works. The bar follows this arc around your feet, okay? So check it out, back to this, all right? When you're going across a crest, the bars are going away from you, so you should push them away from you, right? I'm not talking about pushing down the down. That's too late. I'm talking about pushing across the top, okay? When you're coming through a trough, the bars are coming towards you, right? So you pull them towards you, right? So when you're pumping, you're pushing across the tops and pulling through the bottoms, right? That's with your arms. Your legs, of course, handle the up and down component, just like mogul skiing. So when you combine the arm and leg motion, what you end up with is a row and an anti-row. And in a row, you're pulling with your hands and pushing with your feet. Okay? And what you do is you row through the troughs. This is a row. So it's like push with your feet, pull with your hands. And what that does is it levers the bike through the trough, and that's where true pumping power comes from, okay? And when you go across a crest, you do, we'll call an anti-row, which is where you pull your feet up and push your hands away, right? So you have a row and an anti-row, and there's this constant like tension between your hands and your feet on the bike. And that's what makes the bike really rip, okay? So again, for a pump track, it's just anti-row, row, right? If we make this into a jump, we'll call it a tabletop jump. We'll say this is 95 feet long, just for fun, right? You ready? Jumping and pumping are the same thing. When we jump, we row through the lip, and that levers the bike into the air. And then as soon as we get in the air, we anti-row. So we treat it almost exactly like a roller, except we happen to not be on the ground. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Cool. So let's go to the pump track first. Here's me. Anti-row, row. Anti-row, row. Anti-row. And here's Dani. So dude, that was really good. Yeah, like the pieces are there. Like you've been practicing well.
Awesome.
Really well.
Cool.
The thing I would add, especially for jumping, is to add more leg.
Interesting.
Yeah, so your arms are doing the right thing and your legs are doing the right thing, but we want you to like get more power and range out of your legs.
Where?
As you push into the trough.
Okay.
As you push through the trough.
Got it.
This is really good. Big row, anti-row, powerful row. So, dude, like you clearly have been practicing. Your pumping is good.
Okay.
And I feel like we can go straight to jumping. And my thought is, it's not going to be so much about the technique. It's going to be more about confidence.
Perfect. Yeah. What I think I'm doing is, well, actually, what I know I'm doing is I'm definitely going nose heavy. So I really don't know what I'm doing with my body or what I should be doing with my body when I'm in the air.
Fair enough.
Air,
right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to figuring that out.
So Dani, you mentioned getting thrown forward in the air.
Yep.
And that is, number one, the most common thing that happens to people when they jump, and number two, the most horrifying and dangerous and hazardous thing that can happen. And here's what happens. If you're nervous, you instinctively, what do?
Lean back.
You lean back away from danger, okay? So that puts your weight back on the bike. That's number one. Number two, and this is a really mellow jump. Perfect learning jump, right? I'm on flat ground right here, and up here, it goes to like, I don't know, a 25 degree, 30 degree incline, right?
Sure.
So your bike, you're standing on your bike is doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't row enough, if you don't bring the bike to you, you get pushed even farther back.
Yep.
And that way, when the rear wheel hits the lip, it hangs up, and that's what throws you forward.
Yep.
So again, like most people get thrown forward. They think, I don't want to get thrown forward, so they lean back. That's what causes them to be thrown forward. Never lean back, ever, okay? So the key, this is a lot like the pump track, right? The key is we're gonna row through this lip, which is push with your feet, pull with your hands, and then as soon as we get in the air, we're gonna do exactly the opposite and anti-row in the air. And that's really all there is to it. If you can pump well, mechanically you can jump well.
Okay.
The last piece is confidence, right? And that's what we're gonna work on.
Perfect.
Here's me. Row, anti-row. So you're perfect on the pump track. This is the same move, okay? Here's Dani. She rows early and then anti-rows across the top. So what you just did, that's pretty, I see that a lot. So what you did was as you entered the turn, jump, you kind of like stood up and got your head away from danger. and you fully extended, like you kind of pushed away from the jump.
Okay.
And so that left you fully extended. So then all you could do from there is absorb the jump.
Okay.
And that's what happened. So what we want to do is keep your head low, stay in a hinge, and like you're on a pump track, and really go for like a nice, aggressive, powerful row. Like the height doesn't come from driving your head up. The height comes from that rowing motion, that leverage. And then go for an anti-row in the air.
Okay.
We'll see. So here's a jump, okay? Like a nice mellow takeoff to a tabletop. All right? If you want, that's so crooked, but it's okay. If you want to go low, okay, what you'll do is you'll row through the trough early, and then as soon as the front tire peaks over the top, you push it forward. And in BMX, that's called pushing through. And that gives you a low trajectory. So that'll keep you low. That's what we do on the pump track. If you want to jump, okay, if you want to really catch air, you do the same movements, it's just different timing. So if you want to catch air, you row all the way until the back tire leaves the ground, right? And what that does is that levers the bike off the lip and gives you more air, right? And that'll give you a higher trajectory. So, dude, that was a lot better.
Okay.
A lot better. You had more rowing action. And again, when I say row, I'm talking about the opposition between pulling with your hands and pushing with your feet.
Yeah.
That was better. You still pushed your head away.
Okay.
Like, I guarantee you're not planning to push your head away.
Sure.
It's completely subconscious. 99.99999% of people do it instinctively, right? Until they learn better.
Yeah.
So just keep in your hinge and give that row and anti-row power, and you're gonna be good, man. So how'd that feel?
Felt good. I don't know if it doesn't feel any different.
It was pretty much the same as the previous one.
Yeah.
It was quite good. You're still popping your head up.
Gosh, that's so crazy.
So keep your head low.
Do you think I should, is there something else I could focus on other than the row or push? Like, is there something I could do with my hips or anything like that?
You're doing the right thing. So I'm sorry. So the biggest thing is, like, this is common. I hope all you guys out there on the internet are listening, right? What's happening here, she's a really good rider and she's been doing her homework. So she looks a lot better than you probably do, right? Because she's got a good row anti-row, but that head is still creeping away from the jump.
Creeping away.
Say again?
It's creeping up.
It's creeping up, and that's subconscious. So the only way for us to overcome that habit is to exaggerate head down. Like, it's gonna feel ridiculous.
Okay.
Just exaggerate, head down, head down, head down.
Okay.
Everything else is great. So you're still pulling your head up.
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's because I know it's because I'm trying to perform that row motion.
Mm-hmm.
But like cheating it maybe. Like I'm like trying to use the row motion with my extension.
With your body, yeah.
Versus like this.
Exactly. So that's it, right? So most people try to pull the bars by leaning their body back, and they push the bars by leaning their body forward. But what we do is just get in a hinge, like pretend you're in a hinge, right? And just pull the bars straight back. Just pull them towards you, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going from
more like
here to here.
More or less, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look at it.
So what was different? What did you feel
I
that?
messed up, but I get it.
What did you feel that time?
I pushed down later into the jump.
And it totally ripped.
Yeah.
You got boost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Whoa, crazy.
That's what we're about. Yep. Good job.
Okay.
Pump was too early and too fast.
Right.
And that's why you absorbed it. And remember, there's nothing wrong with absorbing it. Most of the time, that's what we do.
Sure.
But if you want to get that boost, like my friend Zach Lewis is a pro snowboard and bike freestyle guy.
Yeah.
And he always says, you know the key to jumping? And I'm like goal setting. He's like, no. And I'm like, determination. He's like, no. He's like, laziness.
Ooh.
So be lazy.
Okay.
continue to slow your row,
Okay.
bro, and keep your head down, man.
Whoa!
Hell yeah!
Yeah!
So how was that?
Felt better!
That was sick. Good job.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So that was a really good one, man.
Woo!
So for you, it's like laying into the lip and like delaying that row so it's longer,
Yeah.
and then just keeping that hinge and keeping your head down, and that's the key.
Crazy.
That was beautiful, right?
Woo,
It's
yay.
pretty simple, but like you said, is it helpful to get feedback?
It's very helpful because you don't really I mean, for me, I don't know like the timing aspect of when I'm doing what.
Yeah, it's good to have
That's
eyes on you for
Yeah,
sure,
for
right?
sure.
Let's get some more good ones.
Woo, okay.
So those are good jumps, man.
Yeah!
So what did you do different, and how does it feel and all that?
I would say the biggest thing was slowing down the row and the timing of like actually going through that row motion. I think I was just doing it way too early. So kind of doing it later into the lip was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
No, it is, right?
Yeah, totally.
And then like if you don't want to jump it, you want to absorb it, then pump early,
right.
like before. But if you want to
Totally.
boost it, like be lazy.
I love it. Yeah,
That's really
lazy.
good.
Later on.
So how good
Okay.
does it feel to hit a jump clean?
So fun, and knowing that I'm doing it right is really helpful too. Because I mean, I've cleared jumps before, but probably sketchy as all hell. So
Right.
it's good to know just from a safety aspect and bail out, and just knowing proper form really in the end.
That's lovely. So Dani, so far we hit like the most beginner of beginner jumps, right? Has a low trajectory, like a not a very steep lip, and it gives you a low trajectory, which is wonderful. So the next step for you is a lip air jump. This is a small, but but look at it, it's like almost 5 feet tall, the lip, right? For most people that's really intimidating. The other thing is it's steeper, right? So check this out. Number one, your bike is changing angle from level to like 40 degrees up, right? That means you need to like change the angle of the bike below you like 40 degrees, right? The bike's gonna do this, womp. What people don't do is they like, first of all, they're like a little nervous, so they're already too far back, and then they don't pull enough, so they end up on the back of the bike, and then the bike will buck them over the bar, okay? That's that. The next thing is, and this is kind of cool, most good jumps have a jump right before them, like in a rhythm section, or a setup roller like this one, okay? So check this out. If you just passively ride the roller, you'll like hit this, you'll catch a little bit of air, you'll flop into the hole, and you're just gonna hit this jump. It's gonna be super disruptive and not smooth and not rep. What we do instead, it starts way back there. We pump everything. Land this jump, hook this roller. Hook is to aggressively pump. I'm gonna absorb the front of the roller, and I'm gonna smash into the back. And are you ready for this? From about here all the way to the lip is one rowing motion. It's one consistent row. Basically, you go row, and you're in the air. And when you're in the air, then you do your anti-row.
Okay.
I'll show you. Be right back. So, did you catch what I just did?
I did. You definitely, you're definitely moving. You're not moving your body back at all. It seems.
Yeah, I try to stay on my feet, right?
Yeah. So that, no matter how, even though this is more of aggressive lip, that you're still doing the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's just more.
Just more.
And then when you go over to the really serious jumps, like those are 70-degree lips.
Yeah.
Then it's the same thing. It's just more.
Just more.
Just more. And I'm gonna tell you that the only thing that feels better than a little jump is a big jump.
Ooh. Okay. We want to get there.
We want to get
there.
How'd that feel?
Bad.
Yeah, you lean back.
I lean back.
Yeah. So that was technically pretty good.
Okay.
So go faster and pump way harder. There we go. So what you're doing is this is normal. You're not jumping it, you're absorbing it, which is fine, but not the goal. You're rowing early, and then you're anti-rowing as you leave the lip. We want you to row all the way through the lip. There it is. There it is. Sprint, and then pump the fuck out of the rollers.
Pump the fuck out of the roller right before it.
Always.
Okay.
Fuck, hell yeah. How was that? Pretty rad, right?
That was so fun. Oh my god.
Jumps are good.
Yay!
Big jumps are better than little jumps, unfortunately.
Oh, they're so cool.
There's no going back, dude.
Good.
There's no going back.
Yes.
Cyclocross won't have the same appeal.
It will not.
All right, let's do it again, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Woo, we cleared it.
That's perfect, Tom. Nice one.
Yeah.
So what did you do that made that thing so good?
Faster and pump the shit out of it.
Yeah, you gotta pump the shit out of it.
Gotta pump the shit out of it.
Like jumping's funny, it's a paradox, because on one hand, you have to be completely supple and soft and lazy,
Yeah.
but you have to be super engaged and powerful too.
Sure.
It's both.
Ugh, crazy.
It's crazy, right?
So what you're saying is more speed is better. Always.
To a point.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, totally right. Like, but that bike, like if you were on like a dirt jump bike or a BMX bike, you could go really slow and get it easy.
Just because it's smaller?
Because they're more efficient. That's a SB 130.
Yep.
It's a pretty serious trail bike, and it's absorbing a lot of the energy.
Fair.
Plus you got big tires, right?
True.
So like on my Stumpy too, like we just have to work harder.
It's okay.
It's all good. Are you okay with doing hard work?
Yeah.
You good with that?
Let's do it.
Sweet. All right, let's go again, huh?
Yeah.
It's so good. Like you have it, right?
Okay.
And like, not only does this open up the world of dirt jumping and slope styling and that kind of stuff, but it will dramatically change how you see trails.
Which is excellent. I mean, and it's not like scarier necessarily. You know? Like when you have more control, it's not scary.
Yeah, jumping's not scary when you do it well.
Correct.
I know that when you do it poorly, it's incredibly scary.
Right. Yeah. Like I don't even like probably if I were to do this yesterday, even being in the air is just like, what do I do?
Right.
So now it's like, oh, like it's not even like a scary thing.
Yeah, it's just like a nice like rainbow of love, right? And you have
total daisies.
Yeah, and like unicorns, and you just anti-row through the air, and you're good.
That's it. Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, it's so fun.
I'm stoked we got to do that. Like for you, that was pretty easy. Like for most people, we'd spend a lot of time pumping and learning the pumping, but you've already been doing your homework and your pumping was good. And so we got to go straight to jumping. Your big issues were that weird head pop up, which is very common. As a matter of fact, some coaches teach that. Like it's a thing that people do on purpose. I don't recommend it. So you got your head thing, which is common. And the other thing was that you're too early. And I'm making air quotes back here. Yeah. Because you were, if you want to stay low over a jump, then you were doing the right thing.
Right.
You row through the bottom of the lip, and then as soon as the front tire goes over the lip, you push forward.
Right.
And so you're doing that well. But since you want to jump, then it's just a matter of like laying into that row longer until the rear wheel takes off. Yep. And then you're good.
That's it.
And that's it. And you can practice that. And then what's kick ass as a rider, especially as like a pro rider like you can have a good set of arrows in your quiver where it's going to be like, I'm going really fast, I want to stay low, so I'll anti-row fast.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I need to jump this rock.
Right.
So I'm going to row longer. And you're going to be able to, like, your lizard brain is really good at extemporaneous work. So it's going to happen like on the fly, and you won't know the math, but you're going to enjoy the results.
Love it.
Super rad.
Good. Love it.
So thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome.